pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is the Mahoning County Commissioners Hearing Room, regular board meeting number 41, Thursday, October 13th, slightly after 10. Do we have any public comments? Public comments?
Is that when we get up to speak or
Yes,
is that later?
yes.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yes.
Okay, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record?
Sure. Okay,
Yes.
I'm Rick Mastriana and I live at 1788 Northeast River Road. I'm a retired real estate attorney and along with Joe Gardner, I represented the 93 cottage owners out at Lake Milton. I've been involved out there ever since the early 1984 is when I bought a place out there. And through a group of people, a lot of people, we were helped, as you know, to orchestrate sale of the property from the city to the homeowners, bringing in the state park, a lot of the utilities. And I'm here today to speak about the Jackson Milton Water District, which I know you're familiar with. We had a meeting out at Jackson Milton regarding that. As you know, the Jackson Milton Water District is the only water district that the county owns and operates. We are very happy with what you've done, and Patrick Giannetti has done a wonderful job. Very accessible. The quality of the services has been wonderful. As you know, the issue that you're facing right now and we're facing as a community is that there has not been a rate increase for 13 years. And that's something that at the meeting was addressed, and I think everyone at that meeting agreed that there has to be a rate increase. There's not going to be a problem with that at all. The issues come up as to whether or not the county desires to sell this water system to either the city of Youngstown or Aqua, Ohio. And we all understand that if that does happen, that there's going to be a drastic rate increase from both those entities. You probably know that we have a history with the city of Youngstown. It's not a good history. There was some misappropriation of water funds that the state auditor found out, and we have serious reservations as to their competency to run something like this. Okay. Aqua, Ohio, we know are profit solely. I don't think they're interested in the additional development of that area of the county. Retaining ownership, you would be in a position to control the development that goes on out there, increase the tax base, get more jobs for people, and really be very much appreciated by the community out there. I think that it's really important for you guys to retain ownership. And I think a lot of people out there will be very upset if you don't. Both the ability to maintain it as you have and do such a good job. I think, as you know, you have a surplus of funds due to the sales tax. I think we have one of the highest sales tax in the state. And what we're suggesting that you consider strongly is a gradual increase of the rates over a period of time. You have a surplus that would help fund that until you get to a point where it would be profitable again for you. I know that everyone that I've talked to out there would be very much in favor of that. I really believe you would gain votes and not lose votes. If you decide that you want to sell it to the city or Aqua, Ohio, that's going to be a problem for the residents, and I want you to know that. And I don't think it's in the best interest of the county. I don't think it's in the best interest of anyone. And I'm really, please don't take offense to this, but I'm asking you to put on your big boy pants and your big girl pants and do the right thing and really just do your job. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none. approval of the previous minutes of board meeting number 40, Thursday, October 6, 2022, and approval of bills for payment. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. Number 1, journal entries. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve journal entries. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. Number 2, agreements. The engineers, A, B, C, D, E. Rick?
Good morning, everybody. A is an agreement with Cummins Sales and Service for repairs for our vehicle number 58, in the estimated amount of $4,432.23. B is an agreement with Vita Freightliner for repairs to vehicle number 59, in the estimated amount of $1,968.26. C is an agreement with Henderson Products for repairs to vehicle number 60, in the estimated amount of $12,136.37. D is an agreement with PNC Services, Express Services LLC for our quarterly cleaning since our offices and the garages, and our estimated amount of $9,300. And E is an agreement with Vernal Family Properties LLC for the purchase of real property needed for the Western Reserve Road Market to South Avenue project in the amount of $1,730. This is all non-general.
Okay, thank you. F, facilities, Alan?
Morning, Commissioner. This is an agreement with Seal Pro Asphalt Seal Coating Company for sealing and striping the parking at the Justice Center in the amount of $4,400 out of the general fund.
Okay, thank you. G, H, I, and J. Audrey Morales.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Audrey, Nancy. Good morning, Jim. G, Job and Family Service. This is an agreement with MyTap for the Workforce Preparation Program in the amount of $230,000 and 3,400. Job and Family Service Agreement with Beatitude House for permanent supported housing in the amount of $120,000, non-general. I, Job and Family Service Agreement with Children's Services for Child Protective Services in the amount of $716,000, non-general. J, Job and Family Service Amendment number 1 with Children's Services to extend the Kinship Caregiver Program until June 30th, 2023 in the amount of $198,843, non-general.
Okay, thank you, Audrey. K, OMB grants, Anna?
Good morning, Commissioners. This is an agreement with CGI Communications, Inc. for video production at no cost to the county.
Thank you. L, sanitary, and M, sanitary. Tara?
Good morning, everyone. This is, letter L is an agreement with Zampogna Inc. for installation of guide island with stops for the grit screening dumpster at the Boardman wastewater treatment plant in the amount of $2,433.80, non-general. Letter M is an agreement with Allmac Software to furnish Operator 10 wastewater data management software in the estimated amount of $1,690, also non-general.
Okay, thank you. N and O, sheriffs, Joe.
Good morning, everyone. And there's an agreement with Biometric Information Management Services in support of our fingerprint machine in the amount of $1,250, non-general. And O is an agreement with Callo Corporation for the purchase of a silver package in the amount of $3,819.12, also non-general.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Number 2, agreements A through O. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve agreements. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. Number 1, resolutions, additions. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve resolutions additions. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. Number 2, resolutions A, commissioners O and B. Audrey?
Commissioners, this is a resolution authorizing the issuance of sewer system improvement revenue bonds, Series 2022, in the maximum principal amount of And there is a correction to the amount that we just got late yesterday from the bond council for $33,075,000. We do not anticipate it to be that high, but the higher amount will allow room based on what the commissioners would want to do. For the purpose of paying the cost of improving the county sanitary sewer collection and treatment system and retiring obligations of the county previously issued for such purpose, and authorize various related documents and instruments, including a second supplemental trust indenture, a bond purchase agreement, an official statement, and continued disclosure agreements. And I don't know, Tara, did you want to say anything on the issuance?
Tara?
Good morning. I was just trying to unmute there. Yeah, so this will be funding our capital improvement projects for the next several years. A lot of these projects that we added were for improvements to the sanitary lines and at our treatment plants. And we will be funding some of those with the ARPA funds that the commissioners have appropriated to the sanitary department.
Okay. And B, commissioners' data. Jake?
Yes, Commissioners, good morning. This is a request for the agreement with Involta, which you guys are well aware of, for $2.1 million of funds we moved 2 weeks ago at the meeting to support the agreement we have with Involta to build this fiber network for the county. I guess I might as well say it. I got some guys from Involta here. I got Ron Latessa. He's instrumental in getting this done with the county. He's our representative. And I thought maybe I'd just let Ron say a few things and introduce Mark and Paul he has with him as well.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Ron Latessa with Milton. I'm the local account manager.
Do you want to come up
You want to
here?
come there? I can't get you on the screen back there.
Uh,
Jake did that to you.
We want to see you.
You got a wide screen.
Bring your partners.
Direction is all I need, really, you know?
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Ron Latessa. I'm the account manager with Involta. I'm in the Mahoning County area. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for having the vision to work with Jake Williams and the Mahoning County data processing team to develop this fiber network that's going to ensure great technologies in the future for the over 70 buildings facilities within Mahoning County and their various departments. I have with me today, I have Mark Cooley, our Vice President of Compliance and Security, and also a Vice President of Eastern Sales, Paul Moncrief. Once again, thank you.
Hey, can I, Mark, could you, or Ron, sorry, it was brought up to me here in the last couple of weeks about, this being a 30-year agreement and the fact that, technology changes so much. And people said, well, in 30 years, is this fiber network still going to be relevant? And, maybe speak to the fact that the lifespan of the fiber and, why this asset will continue to appreciate over time, given the fact that the Mahoning County controls the electronics and with Involta's assistance, as long as we change the electronics, the fiber withstands some of these technological changes.
Basically, the fiber itself consisted of glass. We'll say glass wire just to keep it simple. It's fiber, so it's glass, and it's encapsulated. But everything travels via light within the fiber. So that's the future. You've seen other projects. You heard about getting internet to rural areas and everything, and that's all going to come through fiber getting to a certain aspect to a location. So what you're laying down is a foundation for the future. 30, 60 years of a fiber network within the county. This is a vision that you have that's ahead of its time. Not all counties and cities have done this. And this is a closed loop network too, in the sense that the security that you bring, because you're not transversing the internet to get to these different departments and everything like you do now. So, you have a strong structure that you can build on for decades.
Ron, I had fiber optics in my 1968 Corvette. They said, new technology, 1968 came out. So on the panel in between the driver's and passenger seat, there was about I want to say 6 or 8 little tiny circles of just like a glass casing there. And they were different colors. And the plastic wire, the fiber wire went from your front right headlight to the first wire, your left front headlight to the second wire. And then when those lights were on, they glowed. So you could see the fiber optics coming up onto the dash panel. And I'd always get mad, one disconnected, it didn't work, you know, you'd have to figure out where it was at.
Well, the key to the changing technology is what Jake mentioned, just like you had the glass infrastructure in your Corvette, it's the electronic pieces that you put on the other ends. So as technology changes, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it's what goes on the end-to-end points of that
Sure.
fiber.
Now, will that'll be all our county agencies.
Want to explain, Dave?
Why don't, and the reason I say this is, will we be able to have that connectivity with broadband through some of our county buildings, through the outlying areas? Is that gonna be part of this as well?
Well, as Ron mentioned, I think the commissioners mentioned last week, this is closed network. So, and part of that is due to the nature of the data that traverses this network and some of the confidentiality and classified information that we put on this. So, it's not necessarily going to serve residential. There are some growth aspects because we do have 6 strands that are unused. So we have not determined quite yet what we're going to do with them. But we'll have the train tracks laid all throughout the county that perhaps at a future date, we could leverage those 6 strands of fiber to do some other things that may benefit some residents or another aspect of county government or regionalization effort we may have here within Mahoning County.
So you have like 6 strands left, okay.
It's about the amount of hair I got left on the front of my, about 6 strands.
I think also for our 911 system, for our CAD and everything that Unvolta right now hosts our CAD and that communication, and I think we'll have the connections to each of those PSAPs so that they can then be in a closed network, which is going to give them more security also, besides that. Also, the data board will be working with the commissioners, because this is a commissioner project, and so as the future growth and everything, there'll be MOUs with different, anyone coming on to the system, so that there's an understand and a commission that will come to the commissioners to establish that policy.
Like you said, Jake, the whole beauty of this is it's a closed system. Nobody can infiltrate from the internet or from anywhere else. So,
Yeah, you need
it
that,
closes the government up
definitely.
so that there's no, we pay a lot of money a year for malware, spyware, all the stuff that blocks, infiltration from the internet, So, I'm so sick of all of the AVG coming up. Oh, we've updated your computer, $98. Oh, do you want $2 for malware? Do you want $2 a month for this? $2 a month for that? I don't even know what I buy anymore. It comes out of my, PayPal or something. And it's like, geez, oh man, it's how many different things. And then every time I buy one and I get an email, I click on it to do to do a search or a scan. And then it says, you need to buy this. And I said, I thought I just bought it, it's like, half of it. So I'm glad you're in charge, it's.
Well,
Anthony?
Really, it's been an honor to work with the commissioners and Audrey, and you guys get the big picture concepts, and I'm purchasing was heavily involved in our county prosecutors, and mentioned the data board, but it's really been about 1.5 years since I started having conversations with Involta. And, can we do this? And I know there's logistics on their side. They had to kind of align to get this to work in such a way that the county could pull this off. And, will be a closed network. And like you said, we'll have a run maybe going out to the internet. We'll have another run going directly to Involta. We may put another run going down to the leads down at the state in Columbus. So we have a lot of issues, or a lot of opportunities to connect other entities to this closed fiber network that we have and control kind of those egress, ingress points to the network. So, and again, it's a 30-year asset that, in a sense, Mahoning County will become a service provider of this technology to all the municipalities and other governments in Mahoning County. So it's exciting and it's really an asset to the county.
It's always good building for the future.
Absolutely.
Anthony?
Jake,
Did
with
you
this,
have
the
anything?
closed system and the connectivity, are we renting the fiber or are we purchasing the fiber in this contract?
I could answer that. I'm gonna let Ron take that one there.
Well, it's what they call an IRU lease. You're leasing the strands of the 12 strands of glass that's within the fiber. There's, I believe, 144 strands in there.
It's not a rent.
No.
No.
it-
It's essentially, we own it, really. It's a 30-year contract to own. And, we'll pay an annual fee of roughly $40,000. It's maintenance in the event a pole gets knocked down or some issue like that, and Volta will go out and repair that fiber. So there is an annual fee that we'll pay going forward based on the mileage of this network. But we're looking at running, or within Volta, running about 3,000 miles of fiber in the county to do this, of which around 200 miles will be, we'll say like they call it
Of the maintenance.
design miles that will actually connect our network, but it'll take about 3,000 miles of fiber to do it, because they pull it and they bunch it up in some areas for growth, and you see, poles going down the road, they get it wound up.
I do see.
Some
Yeah, you see
slack
those
build
loops,
up.
I do
right, that's
see
slack.
those loops.
Right, and this way, if if there's damage and they have to do a repair, they have a little bit of slack where they can,
It's all glass.
Put the
They
glass
don't
together.
break.
Wow,
I just understand.
amazing what technology has done.
You know where that technology
yes.
came from? The Roswell incident. That's what they say.
Yeah, okay.
Reverse engineering.
There you go.
Alrighty then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for explaining.
Everything came from Roswell.
I like
Everything we want, everything, all the good stuff.
All right, C
Lot of
and
truth to
D,
that.
C and D engineers, Rick?
Yes.
C is a resolution approving a release of claims for the settlement of $343.75 to Michelle Vasquez for an incident near the intersection of Chaban and Shields Road in Boardman. D is a resolution approving a release of claims for a settlement of $395.80 to Mark Bedenik for an incident on Plymouth Road near Gospel Baptist Church.
Okay, thank you. E, facilities, Alan?
This is a resolution approving the appointment of one custodian for the department.
Okay, thank you. F, sheriff's OMB grants. Joe?
Yes, F is a resolution in support of an application to the Ohio Attorney
Thank you.
General's Office for the fiscal year 2019 through 2023 for the Ohio Law Enforcement Body Armor Program in the amount of $31,828.16, and that's with a local cash match of $7,957.04. G is a resolution approving the contract with Campfield Police Department to implement the fiscal year 2023 Mahoning County OVI Task Force Grant from the Ohio Department of Public Safety. And H is a resolution approving a moral obligation payment of $1,500 to Axon Enterprise for a online taser instructor training.
Okay, thank you. All right, number 2, resolutions A through H. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve resolutions.
Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. All right, that concludes the business portion of our meeting. Commissioners have any comments or have anything to say at this point?
No, thank
I know we
you.
have other.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you and Volta coming in. Let's see, Ron and we got Ron, Mark, and Paul. Okay, appreciate it. We get a lot of good feedback about Volta from Jake and the collaboration and the work. And, I think it's exciting times to be able to do this and move forward. And, and I think that like a lot of different things, we tend to be on the cutting edge to try and move forward. So It's always good to have people involved like yourself, Jake. We appreciate the job you do. I know there's so many other people involved, but thanks for all your hard work.
Okay, Anthony, you
Yeah, I
have
agree with
anything?
Dave. Thank you. Technology never sleeps. It's a moving part, every minute, every hour. So we appreciate the presentations that Jake, you brought us up to speed when you first talked about this a year or so back. It was really something I didn't understand, but as it evolved, totally get it. So I thank you for bringing Volta in here and explaining everything and getting this underway. Appreciate you gentlemen being here.
And I also thank you. I compliment my two partners at the same. I don't get it all because it's too out there for me, but I think we need it for our future. And we all use it here in Mahoning County. So it's been an ongoing thing for you, Jake. You've been on this fiber for many, many years. It's been, what, 15?
You know, it did, some of the seeds got planted 10 years ago. We
10
connected a
years
few
ago.
sites up, but this is really, the commissioners, this is next level, what we've taken to it. You guys' involvement and approval, and I gotta say, we are a leader, you guys are a leader in this region. This network is unlike anything this region has seen from a governance standpoint. So I know they're doing some stuff like this in Columbus, Cleveland, but for this area, it really puts us a step ahead of really where we should be. So I commend you guys for stepping forward and making this decision.
Because this is something you've been working on for many years. Because when it was first
Yeah.
brought to the commissioners many, many years ago, we looked at you like, all right, and what might this be? And then and you never gave up the ship on that, so I commend you for
And
that.
I'll even say, the
Progress.
former county auditor, Mike Sortino, this is something he was passionate about. He was instrumental in getting 9 sites connected back in the day to a grant that he had submitted and won. So he kind of got the ball rolling, and since then it's progressed to the point where we are now. So
Well, that's good.
And I'd like to have my 68 Corvette back too.
So now we look 30 years in advance for our children and our grandchildren. That's a good deal. So thank you, and thank everybody for being here today. We appreciate it. Do I have a motion to
Motion to
adjourn?
adjourn.
Second?
Roll call?
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. Next meeting will be Thursday, October 20th, 10 a.m. right here in the Commissioners' hearing.